Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, and today's video is going to be all about a get ready with me, but I thought I would do a little bit of a twist to this again, and I'm going to be using all products that either bloggers or YouTubers made me buy. So every single product that I will be using, that I'm going to be using to create this look, I have bought because I got recommendations online and I thought, yes, that might be a product that I might like. Some of these will definitely go back in YouTube history. There are some smaller bloggers here, some Dutch bloggers, some bigger YouTubers. There's a little bit thrown in the mix here, and I got a lot of great feedback on my last Get Ready With Me that I did in this kind of style. So it's going to be a little bit chatty, and I'm just going to go through all of these products while I'm doing my makeup. And I'm doing my makeup today because I'm actually going to see my friends and some family. So I thought, hey, I would go and do my makeup. So I'm going to be starting off by using a primer. This is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, which I have been enjoying quite a bit. I'm going to be using a brush with this. This is the Real Techniques Complexion Blenders brush, and I just recently got this because I don't really like putting on primer with my hands, I find. So I thought I would try a brush to do it, and this has been a nice one for that. The primer recommendation, as I'm going to be talking you through this as I put this on, is definitely one that I got from Jessica Brown from Jam Beauty 89. She has been going on about primers, and before I saw her video on primers, I never really felt the need to use one. But then she is like primer crazy, really, and I thought I would try something. So I first tried the e.l.f. one, or at least I tried other ones, but some of the more popular ones like the Benefit Professional doesn't really suit my skin needs. So the first one I really tried that I love was that e.l.f. one that I was using in my previous video, and now I've moved on to this, and I only have like a deluxe size sample, and I quite like it so far. I have yet to review this though in full, because I'm not really sure that it really does anything for, you know, making my makeup last per se. It's definitely hydrating, which is great, but I use moisturizer for that, so not sure I really need that. Moving on to eyeshadow primer then, and this is the Milani eyeshadow primer, and this is definitely a recommendation that I got off of Emily Noel. If you don't know who she is, I think she is one of the more OG YouTubers that is still around that isn't heavily sponsored, I find, and I really trust her recommendations. This is definitely one of the products that I bought because she recommended it. I could have featured many more projects, both recommended by Jessica or Emily, in this video, but I tried to stick to just one for each person, because when it comes to recommendations, I don't really buy a lot off of recommendations, I'd say. Because this definitely has been accumulated over the years, but these two ladies that I just mentioned, and I will make sure to link everybody down below as well for as much as I can, and they are just great. I really like their recommendations. So now we're moving on to foundations. This is a thing in my routine that I recently actually started to change up. I used to go on to brows, but I've been really enjoying doing my foundation first for some reason. Not sure why. But I'm going in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. I have this in the shade 1.5, and I still need to shake this up. And the recommendation behind this is from Kaylee Beauté. If you don't know who she is definitely a smaller YouTuber, but she does really great palette reviews, and she has a fair complexion and loves lightweight foundations like I do. So what I like to do with this is just pump this out onto a brush. I've been definitely into using brushes again for my makeup application. I tend to go back and forth between a sponge and a brush, and currently I am in a brush mood, and I think this shade is quite okay for me right now. So the problem with what I find with the Urban Decay Naked Skin line, and also with the All Nighter concealer, is that it oxidizes quite a lot on me, so I hope this still looks good by the time I'm done. So the next recommendation I have is the Bobbi Brown Corrector, and this is a product that I've been using for quite some time, and that you can see because it has a lot of pen in here. I use this in the shade Light Bisque, and at a certain point it was a little bit too dark for me, I found, but it's okay. And I actually bought this. Well, actually I didn't really buy this off a recommendation. I really tried this in store when Bobbi Brown launched in my town, and then I was very much interested in it. But I remembered at the time, like, hey, didn't I see a blog post or a video about this by some Dutch bloggers? And there are these two ladies that used to do a blog called Live Life Gorgeous. Perhaps some of my Dutch viewers remember them. They actually switched around, created a new blog, which is more lifestyle, mom related, which I no longer follow. But back when they did their beauty reviews, they were raving about Bobbi Brown quite a bit. And I do really enjoy this product by Bobbi Brown. And then we're moving on to our next product, which is concealer. And this is the Liquid Camouflage Concealer by Catrice. Now, this is one that I already knew about, and I've been using this concealer for years. I used one up completely, and I think I reviewed this like 2 or 3 years ago on my blog. But recently, Tati has been raving about this as well. I love trying concealer, so it's definitely something that I don't really buy off of recommendations. I tend to just go in there and like try something myself to see if I like it. But this is definitely one that a bigger YouTuber is now also recommending. So that's great for this product, I think, because it's a very good concealer, actually. And I just got a new one. And if you saw my Catrice video, you may have seen that the packaging broke, but I actually exchanged it for a new one. And this is in the shade Natural Rose, and it's one of the newer shades. And it's a little bit better for me than the shade I had before. So just a little bit of concealer. It's a really nice day out, so I don't want to like pack on all the makeup because it's nice and sunny, and I don't really want to like use too much makeup today. Is that just me, or is it anybody else that just tries to go for like a lighter application when it's the summertime? Actually, my skin is a lot better in the summertime, so I can actually get away with a lot more, but hey ho, that's just something that you do, right? That's that done. And then I'm going to move in with powder. And this is actually a powder I've never used before, but I definitely bought it because a Dutch YouTuber has been raving about this powder. I think it's her everyday powder. Her name is Sarah Rebecca, and this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. Now, I already knew I loved Hourglass powders because I already had a bronzer, or like a darker face powder that I used as a bronzer before, and I have a couple of their blushes, so I already knew I liked the Hourglass products. This will be the first time I'm putting this powder on my face, and I'm going to be using this brush for it, and this is the Sigma F28, which is another brush, another product that I bought off of a recommendation, actually. This was one of the go-to brushes by Alex from I Covet Thee a few years ago, and that's why I bought it. I saw her using this in a video and immediately thought, that will be perfect for applying powder, and it is. It's a little damp still because I just cleaned it, but... And this is just a very nice way of using a very light hand with a powder application, so you don't overdo it. All right. So that's the base done, and oh, I look a lot better now. The dark circles are gone. And speaking of London, a backup that I bought is this Soap & Glory Archery Brow Pencil. This is one of my favorite brow pencils. If Soap & Glory isn't accessible to you, then the NYX Micro Brow is very, very similar to this. But this is definitely one that I bought off of a YouTuber recommendation. And this one I bought because of Lily Pebbles, actually, here on YouTube. And she was really raving about this. The only sad thing about this pencil is that it only comes in 2 shades. So it definitely has to match you. In my case, it does. And I always make sure I buy one whenever I'm in the UK because we don't get Soap & Glory makeup here. So I always try to stock up. And I was a good girl this time and only got one. The last time I think I bought 3. And this is one of the last ones that I still had lying around from that set. So these do last quite a long time, I have to say. Some brow pencils just like you just fly through them within a few weeks, and this one definitely hangs in there a little bit longer. But then again, I don't really like do a very heavy brow application or anything like that. So then we go on to another product that I definitely bought off of YouTuber recommendations, but I can't really remember which YouTuber or blogger made me buy this. This is the Make Me Brow by Essence, and this is in the shade Blondie Brows, and I absolutely love this. This is the second one that I've purchased, and this is just a great little brow gel. It's a dupe for the Benefit Gimme Brow, actually, and this is $2.39, I believe. So if you're looking for a great brow gel that it really doesn't cost much, then I would highly recommend this. In a way, I could now recommend you this because I no longer remember one single recommendation that I got from somebody for this one. So now we have the brows done, and it's time to add a bit of color to our face. And I'm going to be using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. Now this I bought because of Lisa Eldridge here on YouTube. You could purchase pretty much anything that Lisa Eldridge uses in a video, I guess. But she did a video, I think especially for like a fresh summer look, and she recommended this bronzer especially for fair skins like me. So if you are fair skinned, Milk Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced is definitely a great one. And I will be applying that with another YouTuber recommendation. I used to have a Sigma version of this. This was the F15, I think it was called. But this is the Crown C406 Large Duo Fiber Brush. A brush like this was a recommendation by Anna from the Anna Edit. Used to be Viviana Does Makeup. And she recommended using this very fluffy brush for applying a bronzer. And I have to agree with her that this kind of brush really prevents you from looking too orange, but does nicely bronze up the face. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. So I actually never really used the Too Faced bronzer in this way. I actually use it a lot as a contour back when I did a bit of contouring. May go back to that over the summertime. I don't know why, but for me, contouring is something I like to do in the summertime. I don't know why. In liaison with the Hourglass powder that I already had that I mentioned before. And this is just a really nice lightweight bronzer. I should wear this actually as a bronzer. Now looking at myself in a viewfinder, I'm like, yeah, Micah, you should actually get some more use out of this and use it as a proper bronzer, because that looks very pretty. Now we're moving into highlighter, and actually Nars just redid these. So I actually bought this, I think about a year ago. So I kind of like regret now because now they do a full range of new highlighters, but this is definitely still in the collection. This is Nars Albatross, and Miss Lip Gloss, Cynthia from now Cynthia.nl, used to rave about this highlighter all the time. I could have put in the Mary Luminizer here as well, because that's of course a YouTube favorite too, but I just decided to go for something a little bit differently. Because this is definitely something that I bought because I heard so many people raving about it. Whereas the Mary Luminizer I just bought because I thought it was pretty. So it's not really something that I bought because of a recommendation, but this definitely is. And this looks like a off-white color in the pan, and it doesn't really look like a highlighter, but when you apply this, it is so nice on the skin. It's a really nice gold highlight if you have fair skin. Look at that. Gold highlights never really look great on me. They are usually a little bit too dark, but because this has like a white base to it, I can get away with it, I find. So there you go. Really nice glow to the face. So yeah, if you can find this in the repackaged version, I would highly recommend it. And then another recommendation, this is one by Fleur de Force. This is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush. And this is the shade Baby Love. Just these Love Flush blushes in general, when they released, she was really raving about them. And I just really wanted to try these, even though, I mean, you know, regardless of her recommendation, really, because look at how cute they are. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to blind you. It has little rabbits. So actually, I'm a little bit afraid to use these all the time because, you know, the pattern I don't want to screw up. But this Baby Love shade is a really nice neutral shade. And I've heard people recommend this if you think that Tarte Exposed doesn't give you enough color, that this is a nice one to try. It's actually the reason why I don't own Tarte Exposed. I actually went for a different shade that's a bit more neutral in the Tarte range. Because I do think that with YouTuber recommendations, some people just go on and like go out and buy them blindly, but I think you should always still consider whether that particular look is something you can get away with, because I'm so fair skinned. A lot of these very like boom in your face highlighters that everybody's recommending don't really work on me. So yeah, but I think that this is really pretty. Right, moving on to eyes, and I'm going to be using a MAC Paintpot. This is in the shade Painterly because it just looks a little bit better on me, but Nikki Tutorials is of course famous for using the shade in soft ochre. Make sure that also with a paint pot you get the shade that matches your complexion best. I have more of a pinky neutral undertone, so this works a lot better on me than soft ochre. And I've actually had this for quite some time. And I'm definitely well way into this product, and I hope to use it up soon. And then I always like to just tap this on with my fingers. There we go. So that I get a nice even base for my eyeshadow. But I do like to set it with an eyeshadow as well. And this is one of my particular favorites. There's only product all the way on the outer rim, and I'm trying to persevere and try to get this done as soon as possible. But this is the Body Shop eyeshadow. These were discontinued, sadly. But I really, really love this eyeshadow for just setting my my base with. But it's getting harder and harder to actually get some products out of this pan, but we'll see. Now, in terms of eyeshadows, I was very torn what to pick, but I ultimately decided to go for my MAC palette because I think that in terms of YouTuber recommendations, MAC eyeshadows were everywhere. Like these eyeshadows were everyone's favorite way back before Makeup Geek and ColourPop came around and started doing much more affordable versions. But I think I'm just going to like just start in the crease. This is definitely something that I started doing because I saw all the YouTubers do it. So starting in my crease and then doing the rest. So that is soft brown in the crease. And then I like taking a very wispy brush. That was the MAC 217, by the way, which of course is a YouTube classic. This is a Zoeva brush. This is the Looks Define crease. And I believe this shade is called Wedge. And I'm going to put that sort of on the outer rim of that shade to blend it out. I know this never really shows up on camera, I feel, but this is a step I like to do to not really put all of that darkness right up to my brow, but to sort of blend it out and diffuse everything a bit more. Then I'm going in with a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is the 203. And if you are very OG YouTube, then you may remember the Fowler sisters on here. I'm not sure where they went, but that was what everybody was watching, I guess. And I think Elle was definitely a fan of this brush for her brow bone highlight, and it took me a very long time to be able to get to a Target to find this brush, but once I finally did, I definitely did buy it off of her recommendation. And then I just like putting that with a little bit of vanilla right there. It's just so quick and easy if you use that brush, so that's a good one. Let me go in with Honeylust. I quite like that, Can use a little bit more depth, I think. So I'm going to go in with the Petite Crease brush by Zoeva. I think I'm going to go in with that OG sketch color that everybody loved. So this is a very purpley burgundy shade, and it's just a great shade to deepen out a look. So now it looks messy again, but then I just like to go back in with my 217 and then take the shade that I originally put in the crease, and then I just like blending things out to make sure everything is nice and smooth, and also that crease color comes back a little bit then as well. And then I'm going to use a little smudger brush with a little bit of sketch. Now I do want to smoke it out a little bit more, and I'm going to be using the Essence Smoky Eyes brush. This is a really nice sort of small fluffy brush, and I really like this to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm going to be using a bit of cranberry here. And we have a really nice look, I think. And then I would like to go in with a little bit of nylon. Who doesn't remember nylon? I think everybody went crazy for that for a while. And it was actually a shade I already owned because it was recommended to me by a makeup artist at the time when I was filling up my MAC palette. So it was really crazy to see everybody going gaga for it while I already owned it. Because that was like, for a while there, MAC shadows, there would like, just like with MAC lipsticks, it's all the time. There's like one that pops up that everybody loves and that everybody's trying to get. So I like that. And then I think I want to use a little bit of shale. And shale is a very nice like lilac-y shade with a bit of shimmer, just to connect that inner corner highlight to that lower lash line. Because I think that's a little... Do I need something else? I think I need a bit of liner. Now, I know that eyeliner is something that a lot of YouTube gurus are really great at. Not me. I struggle tremendously doing liquid liner. So what I do, if I want to use eyeliner, I always use the darkest shade in the palette. That's the only thing that I use blacks for usually. I don't have a black shadow by MAC, but I do have Beautymark, which again has that purpley dark shade to it. And this is a very old angle brush from Hema. And this is just one of the best brushes that I've found to be applying eyeliner when you're using eyeshadow. Because I love a defined lash line, but I don't like using an actual liner for it. So I always just use eyeshadow. And I never apply my eyeliner all the way to the inner corner because I have pretty small eyes. So if I rim my eyes with darkness, then they only become smaller and I want to make them look bigger. So I always have them stop like just before, like somewhere in the inner third of my lash line. I actually stop the liner, I angle it downwards, and then it goes up. And I think that that's the best look on me. So that was the eyeshadow done. Let's get into mascara. The Essence Lash Princess is of course one that has been recommended by many people, but I would especially like to mention Andrea Mazziliano here on YouTube. She's been raving about this mascara the most, in my opinion. And I have to say that I like it, but I don't love it. And the reason for that is because it's still quite a wet formula for me, and it just smudges everywhere. So today I don't have the longest day. Oh, there we go. See, I always like make little mistakes with this mascara. There's just no way I can get this on without smudging it or making a mess. The only thing we have left is lips, and again here I had a very difficult time choosing something because lipstick is just something that I try and go around and see what I like. The YouTuber connected to this is still the same because it's a Dutch YouTuber called Vera Camilla, and this is Ofra's Santa Ana, and she has been raving about Ofra lipsticks lately, and she has a lot of lipstick favorites that are also my favorites. So in terms of choosing a lip color, I know I can go off of her recommendations quite easily. And that is Ofra's Santa Ana. I really like the finished look, I have to say. It was great to go over some of my old favorites and some of the recommendations that I bought off of YouTubers. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what some of the products that you bought because of recommendations. And maybe it was one of mine, who knows. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe because I make new videos every single Thursday and Sunday. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!